Welcome, class of January 2021, and welcome to the beginning of a bright new year ahead of you. I am proud to be introducing you to what promises to be one of the most exciting and impactful years of your life. In fact, I am even more proud this time around because I am introducing the first ever Tech MBA program. We've been looking forward to launching the program for quite a few months, so I am very, very proud to be here with you today. My name is Paula Robles, and I am the Executive Director of the Tech MBA and the International MBA programs here at IE. And I will be your Master of Ceremonies today. We will have more time to get to know each other over the coming days and over the coming weeks. But today I will be introducing the various different speakers of this opening event. So without further ado, I will start by introducing a short video. And then after the video, we will welcome Dean of IE Business School, Martin Böhm.
Welcome to the place that makes us feel like we belong, because it is where we feel most alive. It is where we are part of something bigger than ourselves. Anything becomes possible here. We are transformed as we are pushed to our limits, intellectually, personally, professionally. Our minds open and our hearts sing. It is the place we share with people who chase the same dreams and share the same passions, connections that we will keep forever. And above all, the place where we feel at home, where we feel safe. It doesn't matter how far away our journey takes us, its doors always remain open. Because it's not just about the physical space. It is a mindset, a community, an ever-growing network that is present in over 140 countries around the world.
Now it's time to connect. It's time to join the community. It's time to feel at home.
IE Business School.
Welcome to IE Business School. Welcome to the very first edition of the Tech MBA. As Paula has already said, today is a very, very special day. For many months, for many weeks, we have been looking towards this starting date. So we are really excited, and I hope you guys are very excited as well. So welcome to the IE community, and congratulations, you made it. You made it into this program, and I know it has been quite challenging going through this rigorous admissions process. So today is clearly a day to celebrate. It is a day to celebrate because you made it into this amazing program and have an incredible journey ahead of you. As you are now part of the IE community, let me say a couple of words about what the IE community actually represents. Let me start, you're all technical guys, let me start with a couple of numbers here. We are actually more than 50,000 members strong. As you can imagine, the large majority of these 50,000 members in our IE Business School community are our esteemed alumni. But also, we obviously should not forget our current students of the other programs, our faculty members, and also as well the staff that you will be interacting with over the coming month. Paula has just mentioned this. This is just the very first day of your program journey, and certainly over the next few months and weeks, you will get to know not only your faculty much better, but also as well the program staff, especially of the MBA programs. But I think it's not only about statistics. Being a member of this community is as well getting a better understanding of what this community actually stands for. And let me quote someone who actually looked at IE Business School and said, IE Business School is an unusual school with unusual people. And really, when we heard this the very first time, when I heard this the very first time, I was not really sure whether this is a praise or a criticism. I have to say I'm quite an optimistic, quite a positive person. So as a consequence, I certainly believe it was a praise. And I really believe it was meant as a praise. Because what you will realize is that being part of this community is that we are a collection of very unique, very distinct individuals. I think everybody sticks out. Everybody is special in one way or another. And I think the collection of all of that really makes this community so incredibly strong. This is, I think, as well true for our institution. It is quite unique, it is quite unusual. Because there are not really many schools around who have launched a tech MBA. As a matter of fact, this tech MBA is the very first of its kind here on the European continent. So clearly we're trying to push the boundaries, we're clearly trying to innovate and trying to do new things, try new things in order to advance the educational industry. And the same will be found, I think, as well across the rest of our community. But let me, as well, as you are now members of this community, and I would actually even say you're not only members of this community, but you are the community. IE is you, you are IE. So let me as well use this opportunity to ask a couple of things of you as new members of this community. The first one is to be an ambassador. Being an ambassador for this community, be an ambassador, I would say as well, for this very new program, for this pioneer program. We certainly now have to make some noise. I think it is an amazing program that lies ahead of you. So let's make some noise. Let the world know that this program exists, that you guys exist, and that you are an incredible talent out there trying to take on the world. So let's make sure that our brand that will be connected with you for the rest of your life is actually being brought to any corner of this globe. My second request or my second demand would be to be engaged. Be engaged in the community. I already gave you some statistics about the community, but I really encourage you to be engaged, not only in your academic program, but really look beyond as well. Look beyond into the extracurricular activities. What you will see is that the community prepares and manages and organizes a host of different events taking place throughout the year. Some of them actually face-to-face and some of them online. I encourage you to be engaged, and not only as a participant, be engaged as one of the organizers, one of the coordinators making these things happen. And if you feel that one club or one event is missing in our community, well, take the initiative and go out there and start something new. Make sure that it happens and that it becomes actually successful. Because it's gonna give you the great opportunity to not only mix and mingle and, as a consequence, network with your classmates, but also network with the other students at IE Business School and even beyond, even the students at other schools of IE University. So be engaged, be curious, and try to be part of the extracurricular activities here on our campus. My third request would be to be also true to our values of IE Business School. And now you might say, well, when I went through this admissions process, I remembered something about the values. So let me remind you what are some of the key values that I think are fundamental and really define our community. The first one is around diversity. And I'm pretty sure over the course of today, but also as well over the coming weeks, you will hear a lot about how international IE is, how diverse IE is. But today I don't want to focus on merely the nationalities, the different cultures, the different passports, because I think diversity is not only about that. Diversity is much more as well about having different points of view. And that I think is absolutely fundamental, it's absolutely crucial for learning to take place. Without different points of view, we don't have the opportunity to be exposed to new ideas, to widen, to broaden our horizon, to maybe take on a different perspective, which might be the correct one. But also, even if you're on the right track, even if you hold the truth, being exposed to different points of view allows you to be challenged, allows you to defend yourself, allows you to defend your ideas. And that certainly makes your ideas and you as an individual, you as a person, much stronger. So I encourage you to embrace diversity in all its different forms that you will experience here at IE Business School. We certainly, as an education institution, will make sure to expose you to as much diversity as possible for learning to take place. The second value is really around the humanities. And now you say, well, I actually signed up for a business school, not for a liberal arts college. And yes, I completely agree with you, and you're not in the wrong movie. Absolutely not. But when we talk about the humanities, we talk more of a global vision of the world. And now I'm not talking about global in a geographic sense, but more in a holistic sense. Developing a holistic vision of the world. Because the truth is that as managers, as entrepreneurs, as business people, we're not only depending on our expertise with respect to the business acumen or our expertise, our knowledge around finance, marketing, economics, and accounting. Well, that is obviously important, yes, absolutely. But it's not only about that. I think today, or over the past few weeks and past few months, we have clearly seen that it's not only about our business expertise. Our success in life and our success as business people depends as well on the context, depends on the environment. And the environment is so much broader than only the business perspective. We have seen over the past few months that health protocols might actually determine whether our business is growing or is disappearing from the face of this earth. We have seen as well that a health issue like this pandemic is changing behaviors of our future customers. And that changed behavior might actually persist in the future. And we just have to live in a completely new reality. We will see as well that political forces, and I think we see this around the world as well, have a significant impact as well on how we do business and what business will succeed and what businesses will fail. I hope with these two examples I could already show you that issues that don't appear to be directly related to business have a fundamental impact on how we do business and how successful we will be being. Finally, let me stress that something that you will be exposed to as well here at iBusiness School is around everything around sustainability. And I truly believe as well, we as business people, you guys as the leaders of tomorrow, you have as well a responsibility. You have a responsibility not only for the success of your business, your venture, not only maybe for your staff, your employees. I believe truly as well, as business leaders, you have as well a responsibility to society. And that means as well taking social, climate issues as well into consideration in order to make sure that future generations still have an amazing place to live in. Let me now come to the last value I wanted to stress, and that is around entrepreneurship. And actually, when we talk about entrepreneurship, we are talking about the entrepreneurial mindset rather than entrepreneurship or the profession of an entrepreneur. Because we believe that an entrepreneurial mindset is essential whether you want to start your own company or whether you start working in a multinational organization. Having this entrepreneurial drive is becoming increasingly important. And I think the last few months have taught us this as well. So what makes an entrepreneur successful? What distinguishes, I would say, someone who has an entrepreneurial mindset from those who don't? Clearly, one way or one characteristic that defines them is that they're clearly not afraid of failing. As entrepreneurs, I think you have to just get it going. You have to try. And if you're afraid of failing, probably never going to get to the point of actually trying. Let me quote here Michael Jordan. Some of you guys might remember him. Clearly a very accomplished athlete in the sports of basketball. He actually once said, I missed more than 9,000 shots throughout my career. More than 400 games I was entrusted with the game-winning shot and I lost. I missed and I missed and I missed all over again. And this is why I did succeed. I really believe that this quote is really the essence. It is about having the drive. It's about having grit. And actually, now becoming a little bit more academic, we actually know that grit is probably one of the most important determinants of personal and professional success of individuals. So having the drive, having the grit in order to not let go, to push through is absolutely essential. especially if you experience from time to time a certain setback, if you miss the game-winning shot. Another, I think, characteristic that defines entrepreneurs is to be comfortable with change. And I think, again, the last few months have proven that we have to be comfortable with change because the world is changing every second, every minute. We're facing a new situation. Some of you, or most of you, are probably already here in Madrid. For those of you who are not in Madrid yet, you will obviously realize that over the next few months there will be certain restrictions. But these restrictions are not set in stone. Already next week they might be changing again. And it might get better, it might get worse, who knows? Maybe nothing is going to change, but we don't know. So the important thing is that we're comfortable with change, we're comfortable with a changing environment. Actually, Master Yoda of the Star Wars trilogy once said, "The future in constant motion is." Yes, he's right. It's really difficult for us to see exactly what the future holds. But that is an opportunity as well. That is an opportunity. It allows us to be proactive, to sit in the driver's seat and make sure that we define what the future holds, that we mold and define our own future. So I believe as well what makes IE Business School graduates distinct is they're not only sitting back and accepting the world as it is. No, absolutely not. I think what defines us is that we are quicker than everybody else out there in responding, but I think it's not only that. I think it is that we are actually trying to foresee what's going to happen and that we're proactively changing the world that we're living in to the better, to advance our ideas, to advance our ventures. I believe as well, if you are true to these values, you're going to get the most out of your experience that lies ahead. Once again, allow me to welcome you to the inaugural class of the Tech MBA. Allow me again to welcome you as well to the IE Business School community. This is going to be your family for the rest of your life, so please embrace it. I know sometimes as well, family can be annoying, but believe me, family is absolutely important, and embrace this family. I know you're going to have the ride of a lifetime, so buckle up and enjoy and sit back. It is now my pleasure to introduce as well the next speaker for today. It is actually the Associate Dean of the Tech MBA and the International MBA, Jose Esteves. Jose?
Thank you, Martin. Good afternoon, and welcome to IE Business School Tech MBA class of January 2021. We are so delighted that you have chosen us, and we can't wait to meet you in person next week. Despite the challenging circumstances, I think this is a great way to start a new year, besides the snow, is by acquiring new skills and knowledge with new goals and new projects. And believe me, you will have a lot of projects and dreams to be realized. And of course, making new international friends. As you know, this is the time to reimagine everything. We certainly live in a time that is propitious for change, adaptation, creativity, and discover innovative solutions, as Dean Martin mentioned. Also, Steve Jobs once said that innovation is what distinguishes leaders from followers. He also mentioned that the crazy people that think that can change the world are the ones who do it. However, before we move to Mars using Elon Musk's SpaceX rockets, as you know, the new richest man in the world, let's try to save this planet. We need more business sustainable strategies and leaders. The global problems we are facing today demand new global solutions. And the best way to do it is by working together in diverse environments. If you look at this class, what makes it extraordinary is that there are many, many people who are not like you. As Martin mentioned, diversity is the magic. And this is not about the differences, but it's about your uniqueness and dare to be yourself. Because you will learn a lot from the people who is not like you. IE Business School is a truly diverse community, and as today, this is your community. Also, as Martin said, diversity for us is not only about gender, age, race, or nationality. It's also about diversity of opinion. As George Martin, the author of Games of Thrones, says, sometimes different roads lead to the same castle. So I strongly encourage you to promote and to embrace and respect diversity of opinion. You will see that the most common sentence that you'll use is, "It depends." Saying this, I would like to conclude by telling you that our dreams is that you emerge as a lifelong learner with the appetite and the skills to create, manage, and lead a better world after graduation and beyond. Let me leave you with some few final remarks about the concept of home. During the next days and weeks, many people will ask you, where do you come from and where is your home? Probably for you and for many of us, home is a work in progress. It's like a project where you continuously update with new improvements, corrections, and you always try to make it more integrative. So, home at the end is not the place where you sleep, it's also the place where you stand. So from now on, consider IE your home. So class of 2021, get ready. The world desperately needs your leadership and your digital knowledge. Thank you so much and welcome to IE Business School. And now it's my honor to introduce you our keynote speaker, Juana Fernandez Silva. Besides a great friend, Juana is the EMEA Strategic Partner Sales Director for Microsoft. She has a tremendous career in tech. She's also an active collaborator at IE Business School. So let me introduce you, Juana Silva. Thank you so much.
Obrigada, José. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, Martin, the Dean of the IE. I'm very proud to be here, and welcome to today's ceremony. When José asked me to participate, and I start to think, why should I came there to pitch about myself? Because he asked me to talk about myself. And I used to talk about artificial intelligence, about cloud, about how to use technology into business. But I also like one thing, is do things for the first time. So I'm very proud to be the first keynote speaker in this first edition of the Tech MBA. I think it's a great opportunity for me, but for sure for you. And what I want to do today is first talk a little bit about myself, because this is what José asked me to do. I think that good things came in threes. So my career has 3 breakout points. The first one, it started in 1995, is when I got my university degree. I got an university degree in engineering, telecommunications engineering. And the second learning step was an MBA, more or less 10 years after that I got my university degree. And another 10 years later, I got an executive education program and PhD. Those 3 steps were 3 main learning steps for me. But I don't think that you can learn without apply what you have learned. And in my career, there are also 3 technologies, new technologies that I embrace and were also breakthrough points in my life. The first one was mobile 3G networks. At that time, it was more or less 1999, year 2000. All of the networks, the mobile networks, were analog. And it was the first transition from analog to digital. Now that we are talking about 5G, 3G sounds a little bit older, but at that time was a revolution, was bring data to an analog system. The second technology that I had the opportunity to embrace and to work with was the cloud software. Cloud software, again, was a revolution. Not as much technical revolution than a new way to make business using a technology and pay for that technology. Cloud software is a revolution in the way that customers pay for the use of software. And the third one is artificial intelligence. And for me, artificial intelligence is a new way to code. Those three technologies, those three emerging technologies that I have to embrace, were also part of three companies that I worked for. The first one was Nokia, the second one was EY, and the third one was Microsoft. In Nokia, my career was mainly as an engineer, and also as I started to be manager for the first time, and I started to pitch in front of customers for the first time. So I transitioned from a role, more engineering or technical role, to more a business role from the point of pre-sales and also to pitch technology about customers. It was always important for me to understand the technology. And this understanding of the technology came from my engineering background. Due to the MBA, I also understand how companies work, how it's important for a company inside to have, for example, a finance function, the marketing function, and I understand also how companies evolve into a new business. And the third one, the executive education, and also my work in EY and my latest work in Microsoft is more about execution and how to be able to execute in multiple countries with diversity, with different business and different industries. And now it's not only focused in one industry, it's also focused in multiple different industries and also multiple solutions. Those are the three main breakouts. But for today, what I want to do with you is also to do an exercise. I have selected different words that describe my career and I think are important or have been important for me during my latest 20 years of career. The first one is capability. Capability is the power or ability to do something. With capability, I think that it's important here that we understand very well which are our capabilities. All of us know or we used to think that we know which are our capabilities. But here, my reflection to you is, do you really know what others think about you? It's important if the others think that you are capable to do something. In my case, for example, I realized some years ago that the people love to work with me because they think that I am a passionate person. I'm really passionate about technology, but for me, usually I not include on my CV that I am a passionate person. But in my team, there was a team of people from multiple countries and mainly from US and other regions. They told to me, or I discovered, that for them, the passion that I bring to the team was something really important. Nowadays, the global GDP came, 5% of this global GDP came from tech, and will evolve into 10% in year 2030. Also, the pandemic will increase and will accelerate that number. So it's important for you to reflect and think how you can apply your capability into that. The second word I want to share with you today is empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share feelings of another person. It's important in your team. So I think it's really important when you realize how others feel when work with you and when interact with you. Also, it's important to understand empathy when you think about your customers. And here is where I think it's an important point for the Tech MBA is to understand how business connects with technology and be really empathic when you think about your customers. Here I would like to highlight the role that a woman plays, because I really think that women, we are emphatic. It has been something that other people told me that I'm a very emphatic person. Sorry, I need some water. Yes. So you need to understand really that the role that women play in the technology business is only 25% of the workforce, despite that we are 50% of the population. But being emphatic is something that women is more mature for us. So that is the reason that it's important, the role that we play into the team. So consider to have women in your teams and consider to collaborate with women and also try to imitate them in this emphatic role. The third one is opportunity. The opportunities are there. For sure, doing a tech MBA, being part of the AI is a huge opportunity. But the opportunity has to arrive to you and you have to say yes. So I think it's important that the opportunity also finds you ready to embrace the opportunity. In this evolving world, with a lot of things changing, we need to take that opportunities. And for me, opportunity is always related to change. Every change brings a huge opportunity for us. In this case, I want to highlight something related to opportunity. Usually, I'm a mentor here in the IE, and so many students came to me with the same question, is, Juana, we would like to work in Microsoft or in Google or in AWS. What we need to do in order to work on those companies? No? Nowadays, technology companies are the ones that are seen more attractive for the students or for the people that just finish or graduate in an MBA. But now, the non-tech industry is hiring 11% higher more than the tech industry to the tech professionals. So think also in this opportunity, in the tech MBA, as an opportunity to change into a non-tech industry. And also I'm going to give you a second reason, also more important than this 11 higher percentage, is companies, nowadays companies, technological companies like Microsoft or like Google or AWS, really recognize the value of understand a business or an industry. So that is the reason that it's really important to be the tech guy into a non-tech industry in order to acquire the knowledge of that sector, of that specific industry, and then you can come with that to companies like Microsoft or AWS or Google or Facebook. In my case, Microsoft hired me because of my knowledge of the telco industry. Because when I started in Microsoft, I embraced the unified communication business. So for them, the value that I bring was to know or to have experience on the telco business. So think and reflect also on that. Another important, and I think it's really important, the word aspiration. And for me, aspiration, more than the achievement or to look for an achievement, is to have a purpose. I think that is really important. For sure, every company has to have a purpose, but for you as an individual to have a purpose. What motivates you? What makes you wake up in the morning? What brings you passion for what you do? What makes you proud in front of your family, in front of your friends, about what you do every day? This is related to ethics, is related with how do you feel good and what motivates you. I have been reflecting during the last years, and I have been working a lot of years on the way we work. We call that, to that in Microsoft, modern workplace or new ways of work. For me, having a role in make the way you work better, it was my purpose at that time. Now, I look forward in order to make the world a better place. I think if we work with, or we think or reflect on things like sustainability, in things like how to use technology to make a world more open, more diverse, in order to more inclusive, make our technology more inclusive, in order how to make projects that make this work a better place is my purpose every day. And those are the type of projects that are really embraced with passion. No? Latest is orchestration. This is the latest work that I want you to reflect today. I think the time where the organization was a pyramid are not anymore. The companies, the resilient companies, the companies that survive in this changing world are companies where the people works in coordination. So it's really important to have leaders that can orchestrate and can produce a desired effect, but working as an orchestrator, not working as a leader or not working as an executive. I think you should consider yourself which is the role that you play in that orchestration. And that is what I want to put in the next slide. No? It's about what is the role that you play as an individual, how that individual interacts with the organization, and how you create and expand your network and your connections. So it's really important to think in you, your circle, and your connection, not anymore in a pyramid. And for sure, the latest one is gratitude. I think that every day we must think, or we must consider, how we can thank others for the opportunities, for embracing changes, for being part of your network. For me now, I want to thank for sure Ai, Jose, Paula, the Dean, Martin, the opportunity to be here. And you also should think and reflect why or who are the persons that you want to thank for your life, for the different opportunities. So be a kindness person is something that is really important nowadays. I always tend to put some words of Satya Nadella. Our CIO has been performed a huge, huge cultural change in Microsoft. Satya told us some years ago that teach us about the importance of the mindfulness. And this sentence that I put here, I think describes what is mindfulness. For us, we are moving as an organization, he said, from a group of people who think or know it all to a group of people who want to learn it all. So, and to have the opportunity of learning and to this eager and this appetite of learning every day is something that is really important. For sure in Microsoft, because it's part of our culture, but I think it's really important in this changing world. So you don't forget that. Don't lose ever this appetite to learn. For sure, if you are here today, I'm pretty sure that you have this big appetite to learn a lot of things and to put in practice a lot of things. But remember that sentence from Satya Nadella that describes the new culture of Microsoft. So, and that's it. Thank you from my side. So that's all. I think that we have some room for questions. No? Paula?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all your words of wisdom. Thank you so much for opening up to the students, your experience, your thoughts, your reflections. It really has been hugely interesting. Now we have a little bit of time. Sorry, is it working? No. No? Yes? Okay. Sorry about that. We had a slightly, technical glitch. Okay, so I was just thanking our speaker for today and saying that it's been wonderful to hear all your thoughts, all your reflections on your career, your trajectory. It's been really, really interesting to learn from that. And I hope the students also would have learned something. So if you have any questions now, what I would ask you to do is raise your hand. So you have a functionality in the WOW room which allows you to raise your hand. You raise your hand and I will call your name and then you can ask a question from Juana, okay?
Juana, that is not me, but it has the same name to me. Eh?
Yes. So, okay, we have somebody up there who unfortunately has the wrong name clearly. I think, right? Is your name? Can you speak up all the way at the top? We've got somebody with a gray jacket and a black shirt. All the way at the top over here. You want to unmute yourself? John. John?
Sorry, is it working now?
Hi, yes, perfect. We can hear you now. You have a question for Juana?
Sorry, small technical problem. Yes, actually. So thank you very much again. I mean, it's a privilege to be in the, you know, I mean, to have you as a speaker. And so again, thank you for the whole feedback. You mentioned something about the tech companies increasingly looking for industry experts. It was kind of new for me, so I would love to see if you can develop a little bit more on that. Thank you.
Sure, it's a very good question. It's something that, I mean, I think the technology companies have a lot of tech person with a deep expertise about technology, but what we are looking for and where we are evolved is into roles that understand also industries, because with the understanding of the industry, you can also build the solution that fits the industry problem. So more and more, there is in Microsoft, we call that role, a specific role, industry expert or industry sales leaders, but basically it's people that understand the industry, but for sure has also the capability to understand the technology in order to apply that technology into business. No? I think it's now that we are seeing more and more the technology into so many industries, and when I say industries, I think also in public sector or industries like education and manufacturing, whatever. It's really important to bring that knowledge about how the industry internally works into the technology companies that produce platforms and solutions to those industries or to those sectors. That was the main statement.
Has that answered your question, John?
Yes, thank you very much. Yes.
Wonderful. More questions in the room? Yes, okay, so we have
Kamayani.
Kamayani, yes. Welcome.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
you. Hi, Juana. I wanted to ask you, what have been some of the more challenging aspects of your career path that you would maybe give a recommendation to others to maybe work on more, especially considering the future changes that we would be seeing in this field, in the technology and digital leadership sort of area?
Wow, I think, I mean, again, a good question. I think that challenges, you also have a lot of challenges. I think for me, probably it was two different, or two breakout moments. I think that for me, that I tend to talk a lot, to realize that I have to listen also. It was a challenging point. So I think that sometimes it's important, and this is something that, I mean, it depends also on your personality, but for me, it was something that I did later in my career. No, start to listen to others, listen more than talk. It's something that you do when you start to be old. I think that, but you can do it before or try to do it before. No, this I think is for me was a challenge. And now I think I mean we have been this year or the last year. Year 2020 has been a challenging year. I have been discussing also with Jose some minutes before we started the session. For me, it was a challenge since February, continue my work from my home. So I used to travel every week. I managed people from Dubai to London to South Africa. So I used to have, my manager is in Seattle, so my team is in Seattle, so I used to travel to the US every 3 months. I used to travel to London, to Dubai, or to Munich every week. So to have this communication, to keep that network, to keep that energy into the team from my home, it has been challenging, definitely. So we need to adapt also the way we work, the way we communicate, the space, the time. So I think basic things, no, like the space where you work, and also being care of yourself in terms of health, being, I mean, start practicing, I don't know, in my case, yoga or running or practicing some sports, being at home and lockdown. It has been a huge challenge. And also, not for myself, I think for companies, the companies that have shown more resiliency during the last 2020 have been the ones that have embraced this change. So I think that probably those two are biggest challenges that I have to effort through my career.
Okay, so I think we have a question. Did that answer your question, Kamayani?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. So I think we have a question now from somebody who's all the way at the top. So I think your name is Juana, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, my name is
Joanna.
Joanna.
Wonderful.
Perfect. Hi, Juana. Thank you so much for an interesting presentation. I checked your LinkedIn profile and it seems like you have a very impressive career in sales. And I was really curious, who would you particularly recommend this career track for? And what are the advantages and disadvantages of choosing this path? Because it's, I think, a very specific one.
It's an interesting question. And I love the word choosing. So I really don't know if I choose in this path, no, to be honest. So, I mean, the thing is that I embrace opportunities, no? And I just started with that, no? I think that, to be honest, I mean, when I was young, I want to be an engineer, and I want to not to be in sales. I never said to my friends or to my parents, I want to be a seller. No, usually when sometimes ask me, what do you do? I used to say I'm a seller, no, but I mean, I'm joking, no, and I'm not a seller anymore. But it's true that I did my career in sales and in business development, no, but I think that there is a moment that for me sales is the way that I have to help customers to embrace technology. So I'm not a seller as we think a typical seller person. So I'm more working with technology always. I always have been learning a lot about technology. For sure, I don't apply myself that technology, no, as an engineer. I didn't code every day, but what I do is to apply technology. And the way that I apply that technology, in my case, is selling that technology or convincing companies to sell that technology, and to embrace that platform to their customers. So I think that for me, to be honest, more than sales is applying technology. And it's something that motivates me because I need to understand the technology and also understand the business and apply the technology into the business. So I think this is the as I say, the opportunity that I embrace when appear in front of me. I don't know if I answered your question. I hope so, Joanna.
Okay, so do we have any more questions from anybody in the WOW room who is connected today? I think the questions have been very insightful and your answers have been wonderful. Juana, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts for being here today in this super cold, snowy day. So even more, thank you for making it here.
Thank you, Paula, for inviting me. It was my pleasure. Thank you.
We will now give way to a student, one of your peers, a student from IE University, from, well, formerly IE Business School as well. She's the president of the student leadership team. Her name is Terry Fioramonti. She used to be an international MBA student. She joined with the January 2020 intake. She finished her international MBA, and now she's doing her dual degree with the School of Global Public Affairs, also here at IE. So allow me to welcome her.
Thank you, Paula, and welcome everyone. Welcome to Madrid, if you're here. Welcome to IE Business School. Welcome to the Tech MBA as the first class. That's amazing. Congratulations to you all. But most importantly, welcome to our community, your community. As Paula said, my name is Terry Fioramonti. I'm from the US, and I'm doing a dual degree here. I was in your shoes about a year ago, and now I'm working on my master's in international relations. I come from a background in finance, but before coming to IE, I spent 4 years traveling the world. I lived in 6 different countries and went to many more. I taught English and Montessori, and choosing IE for me was all about maintaining the diversity and international exposure that I had during those 4 years. So as Paula mentioned, I am the student leadership team president here at IE. And our mission is to be the voice of the students, but also to connect students across all of the schools. So here at IE, we have 5 different graduate programs. And our vision and mission is to help you all connect across all of those schools. So that's what we're here for, and that's what we do. Getting involved on campus, being involved in the clubs, attending events, going out and meeting your peers is an amazing way to get involved and connect with students from the other programs. So we have I think 125 clubs on campus, so there's probably something that you're interested in there. And if there's not, you can start your own. So I really, really highly recommend that you guys go ahead and start getting in there and finding out what clubs we have and checking out the events that they have coming up. Our clubs work really hard to bring amazing events to you, and I'm sure they're starting right now. There will probably be events starting as early as next week that you can jump into. And this will be a good way for you to find out if there's some clubs that you want to be a part of, that maybe you want to be a coordinator for, and eventually maybe even be the president of. This is also an amazing way for you guys to meet students from other schools. So I was also the co-president of Net Impact, and through that I got to meet students in HST and the law school and all of the different schools on campus. So my one piece of advice for you guys this year is to jump in, take risks, and be engaged in the community, because you can get so much more out of IE than just your diploma. You can get an amazing network, tons of friends, and so many more valuable experiences leading teams and taking part in the diversity. So, welcome to IE.
Okay, we are wearing masks here in the war room, so we
We
have
are,
to
I
take our
promise.
mask off, to put our mask on, and so on. So thank you so much, Terry. We now also have a couple of minutes for anybody who wants to ask any specific questions of her. Since she was an international MBA student, her experience actually will be quite similar to what you will be experiencing. She actually started January 2020. So she was happily going about her life when lockdown happened, and she spent 60 days at home. And they did a lot of really cool stuff, the students did, to actually stay connected and continue that amazing sort of IE community experience that we are so well known for. So please do ask any questions that you may have right now, or of course, if you see her around the corridors, I'm not sure, but maybe.
Yeah,
she's
so
in
you'll
a
see me
different
somewhere
building.
around campus. Yes, definitely come in and say hi.
We have a shy cohort. I can't believe it. I don't think this is
Don't
true.
be shy,
I
guys.
really don't.
I will say that while we were in lockdown, that's when I started getting involved in everything, and so I just jumped in and said yes to everything, and I hope that you guys do too. Please ask me some questions.
Okay, they seem like a quiet
Yeah.
bunch. They seem to know everything there is to know for now,
Well,
at least.
If you guys want to get in touch, you can find me on Instagram and LinkedIn, and so you can reach out then if you have a question.
Yes, so we will have plenty of opportunity to continue interacting with the student leadership team as well as other students at IE. So thank you so much, Terry, for your contributions today.
Thank you, and welcome.
Okay, so we are now reaching the end of our opening event. I hope you gain some insightful tips and tricks and reflections from all of the speakers today for the start of your MBA journey. I don't want to end this event, of course, without thanking the speakers that we had with us today, and thanking all of the students also who have tuned into the WOW room. I also want to make a special mention of a few individuals, and let me just turn back for 1 second. So we have Juan here. I want to make a very, very, very special mention. Juan is here, okay? This is Juan. He is a part of the admissions committee, and he has been very, very critical. I think many of you may have interacted with him in one way or another. He has been very, very critical in making sure that this cohort, that this class could come together, and I wanted to make a special mention of him, the entire admissions team, the marketing team as well. We also have a few other individuals. Yeah, we have one other person that I wanted to introduce you to. We have Igor here. Igor is going to be a key point of contact for all of you in the Tech MBA. You will get to meet him on Monday as well. He will be there. but really important. He works for the Tech MBA students, for the international MBA students, and you'll see him this year. And we also have with us Stephanie Lim over here with her mask, of course, safety first. She's actually on campus. So Stephanie looks after our international MBA students, our Tech MBA students, and in particular, she is responsible for all the dual degrees and all the international exchanges. Okay, so you will hear from her throughout the program as well. So I don't really have anything else to say other than I am super excited to meet you in person on Monday. Jose and I will have a presentation with you. Your Tech MBA starts here. That's the name of the session. It will be in the Aula Magna. It shows already in your calendars, so you know, we look forward to meeting you there and talking to you then. And finally, once more, congratulations, Tech MBA class of 2021, January 2021.